There it is. We're live. No
Good morning,
intro.
good morning.
It's just you got your green on.
I do. I have my VeeDads shirt on.
I love it, man.
Slept in. No alarms this morning. Just woke up at 5 o'clock. Here I am.
Beautiful. I think that is a great way to be living.
Yeah, well, so yesterday, I guess my 4 a.m. alarm woke up my wife, and she couldn't get back to sleep, and she was not too thrilled about it. So I was like, "Oh, sorry, honey." So I turned them off today.
She's like, "Go back to work."
I asked her that. I asked her that last weekend because something happened last weekend too, and I was like, "You want me to go sleep in the guest room? Like, I'll go down there."
I would the conversation about I think sleeping separate beds sometimes. I'm very curious about that in a way.
Yeah, I think there's like an episode or two in like How I Met Your Mother where Marshall will only get like two separate beds but in the same room. It's always been a very interesting like take on marriage and stuff. You know, so polarizing.
I feel like forcing people to live in a situation where you're kind of sleeping in the same bed, but like people need different temperatures and different, noise levels, and I think different darknesses or lights, and some people are better sleepers than others. I think I did take a moment to actually look back in time to see like when people started to sleep together. The only thing I could really find is like, obviously when you get married, there's this like, okay, you want to be together there. But there was some like underlying thing, like there's a religious theme in there as well. But it was more the fact of like people started to sleep together in the same bed because it was more of a necessity from a financial standpoint. When you were bringing families together, you had to sleep together, you had less space, so you had to stay in the same bed. And so it stayed that way. And I think that the idea of all of us sleeping better in a separate environment could be very heavily argued and agreed upon. I think in so many ways, but there's such a negative, it's like a taboo thing to think that you're not going to sleep in the same bed. I mean, even thinking about it now, as I continue to talk and rant, and I'll stop in a second, the idea of like, okay, your kids are going to see you sleeping in separate beds or something, and the idea is like, wait, but we're going to be judged by them. I don't really know. So it's an interesting thought.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I did it for a while because I wake up really early and my wife and kids don't, and at some point our son was in our bed and I took the guest room for a little bit, and it's definitely because I just have a completely different routine and schedule, and I couldn't sneak out enough, and set an alarm to leave at 4 a.m. So and I don't think our kids felt any differently about our relationship, but like I think we definitely did. So we just made the goal to get Bentley out of our bed, and then now I've been sleeping in bed with her since, and it's just been one or two times that my alarm has woken her up, and like she's not been able to get back to sleep, but most of the time she can get back to sleep. So
all right, we're here. We're putting a stake in the ground on this topic right now. And hey, you know what, Couch? Good morning. First of all, Blaze's comments recently have really gotten to me about whoever is listening. Now, I actually know who it is. He shared with me who was listening and said that we say hi to the chat way too much and for too long. And so it's in my head, and it bothers me that it is. But I'm also thinking maybe there's some truth to it. That's okay. Like, I think we should definitely say hi to everyone. We got Jason, we got Craig, we got Robbie, we got Nate, we got, was MP here? We got to say MP if he's here. He is here. There he is. We got some gratitude. We'll get to gratitude in a second. And just so I made sure, Robbie, Nate, Craig, everybody, we love you guys.
Profit
myself, Profit comment. But guys, give me, are you guys all sleeping in the same bed, or have you slept in the same bed as your spouse? I'm so curious because, and this is my dream, to like be able to sit here, talk and reflect on certain thoughts and just Google away, as long as they're like good sources. What is this? Okay, so the source here is Vox, Business Insider, or Custom Mattress Factory. AI had pulled this together, so we can take this for what it is. but I don't even know. I don't really know what Vox is, to be honest. It sounds like it probably isn't a good link or a good source here. But I wanted to see, is it taboo of married couples to sleep in separate beds? And the idea, it says here, shifted over time. Now, what I wasn't expecting is that it ran through history a little bit. I'm glad that it did, because it says that in the medieval times, the norm was to share a bed with family members and other people in the household. In the Victorian era, if anyone has the dates on that, let me know. But sleeping apart became a status symbol because it meant you could afford separate bedrooms. So again, medieval times, you're sleeping in the same bed because you had to basically share that household with family members. Now in the Victorian era, now people are sleeping apart because now it's going to be something where, and also wasn't like assigned like an overweight person or, holding on to extra body weight was like a sign of, royalty as well. So it's like maybe they didn't have enough space to sleep together. Who knows? In the 1960s, sleeping apart, and this was the sexual revolution, it says, sleeping apart was seen as a sign of prudishness due to the I Love Lucy stereotype. Now that's interesting. What was the I Love Lucy stereotype? I feel like Craig would know that answer. And then today, there's still a stigma attached to sleeping apart, which can make couples feel ashamed about questioning their decision. Exactly what we said here. Exactly what we said. Thanks, AI. That was good. Okay. Well, I'm happy. You know what? I feel like it needs to be leaned into more often. I think that we need to be able to sleep better, feel good, and make sure that we are, just because we're not sleeping together, when we're not even like talking with each other, like, yeah, if you want to go have sex, go have sex. If you want to make sure that you're going to cuddle a little bit, but like go to your separate rooms. And not every day is going to be the same, right? So, well, and I guess the difference between rooms and also beds. So there's that. And according to the Sleep Foundation, 60% of American couples sleep together. However, in a 2021 CNN report suggests that about a quarter of American couples sleep apart, at least a few times a month. Well, I know that I get kicked out of my bed often, and sometimes I just sleep on the couch because I feel like it's just like now becoming my bed. So, welcome to Daily Dads, where we're connecting dads at all the health, mindset, and connection. Talking about sleeping apart. That's what we're going at right now. All right. How about we rewind a little bit? Let's grab some gratitude. What are we grateful for today, Dom?
So I'm grateful today for my grandmother. It's her birthday today. I don't exactly know how old she is. I'm not sure it's appropriate to ask at this point, but I want to say she's up in her 70s, 80s. Females in my life had their kids young, so
wait,
I think
wait, hold on. Whose birthday is it?
My grandmother, my mom's mom.
And how old is she?
I think she's like 80, man. 80 something.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. I know that you have a very large family.
Well, I mean, as far as grandparents, for me and for my wife, she's the last one. She's the only one hanging in there. So my dad's parents passed away in the last couple of years, and then my wife's grandparents passed away in the last couple of years as well. So she's the last one hanging in there. So, telling the kids, like, when we were signing a card and sending her pictures for her birthday, I was like, this is your great grandmother. Last one you have, basically. And we need to go out and see her. She lives out in Arizona, but she just moved and she hasn't quite settled in yet. So, and it's, been summer in Arizona, so no one wants to be there during the summer. Brofit can attest to that.
Yeah.
So
just want to say hi to Anne. I always love an Anne. If anyone hasn't listened to, I re-released the Anne VeeDads episode. My God, so much has changed. I didn't realize when I first interviewed Anne on VeeDads, I didn't put this together, that she was so incredibly new to the community at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And now look at her. And so I feel like, because I was looking back and I was like, I felt like I was asking her questions that were more appropriate for someone that had been around for a lot longer. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. And then I feel like it was like after the episode, I was like, oh, wow, she's so new. I didn't realize that. But man, what a force, Anne, you have become in the community. Anyway, we digress. We got beds. We got Anne chatter going on right now. This is good. Wait, what did I want to see over here? Oh yeah, Brofit.
Ants.
My wife and I sleep separated 10 days out of the month. Yeah, because Brofit's wife is a firefighter. So we talked about this recently, Brofit. You said it's a 10-day cycle. And in that 10-day cycle, it's 24 hours on, 24 hours off, and then it's 4 days off consecutively, right? Did I get that right? I think that's how it goes. Or that's part of the cycle, right? I think 4 days is within that 10. So it's 6 days on or off, something like that. But yeah, so I feel like people are doing it anyway. I feel like I'm trying to find a reason for this right now. And I'll step away. But anyway, your grandmother, it's her birthday.
Wow. Craig said his grandfather was born in 1881. Yeah, I was trying to do the math on my grandmother, and I think it was like 1940, 35, 40 or something like that. And I think even my great grandmother was still born in the early 1900s. Like, again, they just all had like kids in their like teens and 20s.
You have Soggy in here? Soggy, what's happening?
Oh shit.
Soggy, we welcome to Soggy. How about we all say our favorite thing about Soggy really quickly? We all, Dom, you and I say our favorite thing about Soggy. Soggy, I love how stoic he is, and this is a perfect space for him because Soggy, we talk about stoicism. Really, our resident stoic here is Dom, just so you know. And if you haven't really noticed, it's because of his beard. I've been trying to grow my beard, but it just only comes in certain places, so I'm only half as stoic. But our full stoic over here is Dom.
Yeah, I mean, Soggy's a gem. Soggy's just he's got all the information, man. And like, I want to shoot back to Anne real quick. But Anne being Anne, just like I got out of nowhere, sent me a real nice message yesterday, and we had a little back and forth, just like a hello, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while, like that kind of thing. So, thank you, Anne.
Yeah, what a great community we've built. Well, I say we, that we're part of that Gary built, and I think you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's great.
Oh, it's 1 year anniversary for Soggy in VeeFriends.
And time flies. We've been around for 3 years now, I feel like, for this whole VF stuff, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? All right, back to gratitude.
It's all over the place. Where's your gratitude at?
Yeah, I know. This is okay, though. I actually feel fine with it. I'm hoping that the person who thinks that we say hi to the chat too often, this is more interesting for you. So it's in my head. It's rent-free right now. It's there. And I think I'm trying to accept a little bit of it. But that's okay. Where's my gratitude right now? I feel like my gratitude is, maybe this sounds superficial right now, but I'm really grateful for, this little space that I've been able to put together to really get this content rolling that I've been really wanting to do to reach more people. And I guess grateful, there's this computer here that I was about to buy one, and my sister-in-law was like, I'm not even using mine. Do you want it? And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then having all this equipment around. So, I'm finding more and more two things right now. I'm grateful for this, and it kind of gave me this opportunity. But I think also seeing, like, I really do enjoy reaching people through content. But more importantly, I love enjoying reaching people by making content, by creating content with others. So like, whether it's with Robbie, or whether it's with Brofit, or whether it's with you guys, or whether it's with something else, I really, I do love, I always say, sometimes I don't know whether I like to hear myself talk or I like to hear myself reflect, but I really just enjoy connecting and asking those questions, and then being able to break that down and kind of share people, because I think that people do see a different side of themselves when someone else listens in and then shares that with the world. So that's my gratitude. I love you guys.
That's awesome, man. It is.
All right. I've been thinking about transitions into everything my daily dad. And for anyone coming in new, the Daily Dad by Ryan Holiday, it is a daily meditation coming from stoicism, modern psychology, and practical wisdom. I've been taught this by resident Stoic Dom to make sure that I include that, and I have. And it's now in my memory, so it's always good. So October 5th. It's warm outside here. It doesn't feel like October, like when we were kids. but it's entitled "Don't Be Like This." And if you don't know, because we know that Sagi's new now, but I always love when we get new listeners too. Every month there's something that we're focusing in on. So struggle and emerge. I've loved the past 5 days so far talking about this because I think that it's, all of these soft skills that we can get from stoicism, or, hard skills, or the things that come from Be Friends too. Sometimes I'm like, just kind of, where's that punch in the face that we just kind of need sometimes? And it's a little bit of this. And I like it because I think it really kind of like resets our mind a little bit. And then I want to bring up one more thing after that, but don't be like this. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts over here as you were reading?
I remember reading this one the first time, and I think I felt like this was one of those things where Ryan just really wanted to call someone out, like in a hard, stern way, for being a jackass, like live on Twitter, like, because like I don't know this story, but I think maybe I researched it a little bit or something like that because I was curious. And it was probably something that went viral, and it probably made Ryan laugh that he was able to put it in the book, but still put the lesson behind it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, don't be a dick. Like, yeah, let your kids struggle. Like, put obstacles in their way. Like, don't stop what you're doing every second to make things easier for them or help them. But I mean, if you're just sitting there like doing a puzzle and tweeting, like, you can like get up and show, like, a can opener is like, it's not hard, but it's also not easy, especially for like a first time user, and every can opener is a little different. So yeah, just it's a pretty simple and pretty obvious lesson to most people, but I think it's more of a, like, you still have to say it for, to make sure it's said. It's one of those things. It's like, it's obvious, but like it still should be said.
Yeah. I like what you're saying. I'm listening. I thought this little exchange was kind of funny. Very Australian of our Australians. This is more of a Nate thing than a Craig thing. Robbie's out to walk because he walks 22,000 miles a day, 22,000 steps a day. And so he's out to walk. Craig called him out, but that was funny. Yes, I also agree. If I can tie together Anne's recent re-release of her podcast, and the reason I'm saying that is because there's struggle, I think, that parents, I think, impart on their kids, either intentionally or not. Ryan kind of says here, like, be a guide. Like, we're not looking for to put our kids through such a harsh struggle. Like, we're teaching them. We're not there to let the struggle teach them, right? Does that make sense? Right? We can either like throw them into a pit and let them kind of crawl out, but now we're letting the pit and the challenge teach them, versus throwing them in the pit, seeing what they choose to do, and then maybe pointing some ways that they're able to, get out, or, some strategies. So I think it's a good reminder, but, I like, just like in Anne's story, Anne was mentioning some things with her family, and Anne, if I get this wrong, I apologize. But just about, I think, some medical things that were going on in parts of her family, and then I think the parents' attention was diverted in one way or another. But then you have to kind of learn to grow up in a certain way, and you're kind of pushed to do it maybe earlier or faster than you're able to when you're that young. And just like my brother's in the chat right now, I don't know if he would agree with this, and I think it might sound more aggressive to him if I say sometimes I feel like I was definitely pushed to grow up a little bit faster than I was ready for. It might be a personal statement, but we all have our lived experience. But like, having, like, being forced to like figure out how to like wash your own clothes because it was something that wasn't really done for us, which is a benefit and a struggle within that. Making sure that we learn to like cook on our own, or making sure that we, have to find ourselves or find our lifestyle, within a family that maybe you don't feel so connected with. And so I love the idea of resilience and teaching your kid this. But it's a good reminder to be like, chill, like, you're here not to overwhelm them with a lesson. You're here to walk with them during the lesson. And, just make sure that you're supporting an outcome that's going to work for everybody. So it's, again, this balance. There's not going to be one answer. There's not going to be this like binary thought of like, you just go with resilience and challenges, or you just go with the other way of helping them out all the time. So it's a good reminder.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. Like I said, balance. There's a way to do it where you stay back and let them do their thing and let them try and fail and try again. And there's a way to, stand behind them and help them, guide them. Like Ryan said, like start the can opener and let them do the rest. There's plenty of different ways, but it's definitely not being mean about it and, using it for entertainment purposes of random people online.
And if I can, just want to make sure, I know, Anne, you don't need to tell me, like, Ryan, you got it right. But yeah, I know there was a lot of stuff that was kind of going on with your family and everything, but it was tough. And then, I think that for different brains that are developed differently, I know Anne and I have connected on more of the neurodivergent, ADHD side of things. And I think it affects different brains really differently, how fast you are, thrown into the fire in some kind of way. So, but you know what? I think in my life, I find more and more people like that. And I think, there's many things that I'm grateful for, having had that struggle, whether it was pushed for me to do it or not. I think it was really great. So I just realized somehow we might be streaming on LinkedIn, which I tried really hard to make it happen, but I don't know if it's actually happening. So I'll have to check it out. Anyway, so that's good. And you know what I always love, just because there's no point. Yeah. Take what out? Oh, I see. Oh, it's wet. That makes it hard. Not reading verbatim, I think, sometimes doesn't really help. And I don't know if I'm going to get sued whenever I do this, but I like what Ryan Holiday said here about the, he says, no, our job isn't to open every can for them, nor is it to let them struggle in the dark for 6 hours. And I think, Dom, you kind of use that too.
Yeah.
Why are these hair bands so difficult to get out sometimes? Step
girl
into
dad life, dude.
Yeah, right. Hold on, let me get. This is gonna be hard for you to get out. So but yeah, I think it's a really great thing. Can I transition to? Do you see yourself over there?
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, did you know there's a new Be Friends episode?
I know.
You know?
Did you watch it?
What is it about?
VeeDads.
Yeah, which one?
I like the cat one.
You like the cat one? Well, there's a new cat one.
Yeah.
I know. I like the cat one.
I know you
like
keep
the
telling
cat
me.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing a dance battle.
No.
I don't think she saw it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not like a spoiler. I think it's okay.
So you like the water balloon one with the cat?
Right? Is that the water balloon one you like? Yeah.
Yeah, that one's my favorite too.
Is the cat your favorite?
The cat one.
Yeah. Yeah. Want to say hi to everyone? Say hi. Okay, so good. And yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, how did you feel about the new one? I want to say something about it that I felt silly about.
Anne just said no spoilers. I think woke up. I think she just woke up and she jumped right in here before watching the V Friends cartoon, which makes us feel even more special.
That's actually fun. I didn't put that together, but I wonder if they actually thought about that. If they thought about that. And Craig also, there was a race car meta rides type of situation happening here with Dynamic Dino, right? Maybe it was a call out to you.
I like the cameos. Just couple more characters. Yeah.
What was your favorite cameo?
I don't know. I just like that they were there, man. The shark.
Yeah, I was gonna say shark was. I like it. It's just like, these 3-minute episodes. I wasn't sure if I was going to be about it, but yeah, it's exciting. Actually, DM, she's come home probably the past 3 days, and she's asked to watch Be Friends. So
nice.
it's been really. It's nice to kind of. I feel like it's. It actually is a direct connection right now, which is good. But with that said, I mean, with the kids and everything, how did you feel about? Oh, hold on. Okay, you know what? We won't talk about it so that we don't spoil it for you, Anne. We won't do that for sure. So
Well, my kids haven't seen the new one because they're all still asleep. But my kids haven't.
talk about it tomorrow. Let's talk about it tomorrow.
My kids haven't asked to see them at all. I'll like randomly try to put them on, and they're like, pass.
I feel like when there's like a good string of them all together, I think it'll be perfectly okay. So,
But to be fair, the demographic is 6 to 11, and my kids are right outside of that. Like, or 6 to 10. My kids are 5 and 12. So like my kids are out of the demographic that they keep saying it's for. So I don't feel as bad.
my 3-year-old definitely likes it. I think why I was asking about it because I was like, there was a little bit like right at the end of the episode, I was like, wait, what was the lesson here? I felt like an idiot for a second. I was like, what did we just learn? And then it was obvious, like I think once it like wraps, you know, think about it for a second. But I was like, wait, that was so weird. Also, can I ask, that is your squeaking, right? That's not my squeaking.
Oh yeah, it's like a cricket or something. Like
okay.
hanging out in the plants.
I just want to make sure it wasn't going crazy for no reason.
It's
fine. No, I'm not going crazy. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something that I could smell.
Sorry, everyone in the chat, if that bothered you.
No, I just want to know what's going on there.
Where's Blaze at today?
I don't know. He texted us, but as I try to say at least, I always say there's no expectations or judgment. So if you can show up, show up. If you can't, that's totally cool too. You know, so I know that he has a lot going on at home sometimes. I don't know. I think it depends usually if Heather's home or if Heather's not home. I know. I think he has early lacrosse practices as well. So I think it's a lot for him that I know he can handle. I know he can.
You guys got anything going on this weekend? Or just hanging out at home?
There's not much planned. There's not much on the calendar right now. So I think we're just trying to get organized as best as we can on this side after the busy summer. But I think we're getting there, which is definitely good. So we'll be there soon.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, any last thoughts? We can probably wrap it up after that.
No, I mean, you know, let your kids struggle, put obstacles in front of them, but just don't be a dick about it.
So oh wait, hold on. We did talk about trying to. Did we try and talk about putting a struggle in front of our kids?
Yeah, I think so. But
any struggle you try to put them in front of?
Not that I can recall. My daughter made me breakfast yesterday, which was awesome. Made me eggs.
Oh, cool.
So she's getting really good at making eggs, which is awesome.
That's really helpful. I feel like our kids are probably like, wait, that you were just getting me to read. What? Stop making me do things now. But
put that book down.
There was a moment.
Yeah. Now this month, what you do since you've got them hooked on reading is you hide all of their books, and that's the struggle. I'm just kidding.
I just picture us like walking up to our kids when they finally start reading after a month of us asking them to do it. We like knock the book out of their hands, like go wash your clothes. They're like, I don't know what to do anymore, Dad.
This is all going too fast. We have to learn it all in a year.
And then in a couple of years, they're just on their own, you know, VeeKids podcast being like, and then there was that time, did you guys have this too? Your dads were getting you to read, and then all of a sudden they were like, go do other things. So yeah. That's funny. That's a funny thing. There was a moment yesterday where I tried not stepping into an argument with my kids as much as I was like, you guys can figure this out. That's a really hard thing for me because I do always want to find a solution for them. And they're arguing and I don't want to hear them argue anymore. So I'm like, okay, here's the solution. I'll figure it out. But yesterday, they were arguing over the iPad. And I had said, you guys can definitely figure this out. They did not figure it out, but it was definitely something where I think that saying that more often, I think it pushes them to really be able to understand that, they're sisters and that they do have to come to some sort of conclusion, that they have to kind of, you're not going to find the one way that only works for you. So probably going to push that just a little bit more.
Yeah. All
right.
right, everyone. Have an
Mugs,
amazing day.
full of coffee, hearts of gratitude. We love you guys. Talk to you soon.